Hello everybody, it's Kara from Wild Book Garden, and today I'm here to review The Perils of Lady Catherine de Bourgh by Claudia Gray. I did receive this copy in exchange for an honest review. This book has already come out, so I will put the link to where you can order it down below, and I will also list content warnings for this book. And as I said, this is going to be a spoiler-free review, both for this book and for the series as a whole, because this is the third and most recent book in an ongoing mystery series that incorporates multiple characters and like descendants of Jane Austen characters. So basically it's a murder mystery series with an Austen flavor, and I've been loving it. So this third book is interesting in the sense that for the first time in the series, Juliet and Jonathan are two main characters. They are intentionally being like summoned or hired basically to solve an attempted murder mystery. So it's unusual that they're being brought in deliberately, and it's also unusual for the series that there's not actually been a murder yet. Lady Catherine de Bourgh has had multiple attempts on her life, and she is very displeased with that. And so she has reached out to Jonathan and Juliet because she's heard about the mysteries that they've been able to solve before, and she also has some connections to one of their families. So there's of course the plot and the tension of like trying to keep Lady Catherine alive because there continue to be dangerous things happening around her. And then also on top of that, there is some interpersonal kind of like stress or plot because Juliet and Jonathan are both accompanied by their fathers, and they do not like each other. They don't get along. And at this point in the series, Jonathan and Juliet have really started to enjoy each other's company. They really like get along. They are maybe starting to have romantic feelings for each other. And so the fact that their fathers don't like each other is not great. So that is going on in the background as well. And I really, really loved this one. Like I said, I've been really enjoying the series as a whole. But in terms of the sort of like crispness and cohesiveness of the story, this might be my favorite in the series. Like I really loved a lot of the stuff with the setup of the first book and, you know, seeing Jonathan and Juliet like meet each other and start to like work together. So all of that was great, and I did enjoy the second book as well. But I think with this third one, just the tension and the mystery and like the character stuff, I just really, really liked how it all came together. And one thing that I think is really refreshing is that one of the reasons that this is such a slow burn romance is that Jonathan and Juliet, like there are very understandable reasons why each of them isn't completely sure how the other person feels. Like, are they just, you know, colleagues? Are they just friends? Are they maybe something more? What if the other person doesn't feel that way? And rather than being a frustrating sort of miscommunication trope, I feel like it was handled really well because, again, like the reasons for their uncertainty makes sense, but also because like this book made me realize that I think one of the really irritating things about a miscommunication trope is the like length of time and the way that it sort of builds on itself. Because in general, when you have a couple or like a pair of characters and there is sort of this like miscommunication or like misunderstanding between them that could be fixed with a conversation, one of the things that's so irritating about that is that it sort of continues to happen. Like one misunderstanding turns into like a bigger one, or like it sort of recurs in a way that like makes these characters who care about each other keep hurting each other. And it's not their fault, but it can be very frustrating to read. And one thing that I really loved about the character dynamic in this book is that that didn't really happen. Like, even though there was still this like lack of communication between them about a specific thing, they were able to look past it and work together and start to sort of rebuild that camaraderie between them, even though they still had this thing that they weren't sure about with the other person. I hope that makes sense, but basically I just really liked the way that that sort of plot or that like character element was handled. I also thought the mystery was very satisfying. I also really loved some of the characterization choices that Claudia Gray made here. I mentioned for the second book that while I did really enjoy it, one of the things that made it not my favorite in the series is that, I don't know, there's some character choices the author made that I didn't love. And in this third book, I really, really liked like a couple of those choices in particular. I just thought were really interesting and really gave a lot of depth to characters from the original novel that we don't often see. I also want to stress again that this is like a very, very slow build in terms of the romantic element. Like, there is some forward progress by the end of this book, but I don't want to I don't want to make it sound like, you know, it all gets like resolved or something, or that it's like super definitive. But I personally was very satisfied with the way the story ended, with where we left the characters. I was also very happy to see that, at least judging by the acknowledgements, it sort of seems like Claudia Gray is planning to continue writing in this series, which I hope she does, because I've been really loving it. And I also just really continue to love the writing. Like, the humor and the wit is very Austen flavored, while also not feeling like overly imitative. I don't know if that's a word. It doesn't feel like she's trying to imitate Jane Austen too much. I feel like the attention to historical detail is very good without feeling overwhelming. And I really, really love that Claudia Gray really, she writes with compassion about these different issues that people of the time were still going through, even if they didn't have the same words for them that we do. Like, for example, I've mentioned in previous reviews that Jonathan is autistic, and I'm not autistic myself, so I'm not speaking to that representation, but I have seen from other reviewers that it is handled very well and very sensitively. And even just like little things like, we have one of the characters who like refers to the fact that like their mother has told them that it's like, okay, yeah, you think that, you know, young women don't have very interesting things to say. That's because they've all been raised from birth that these are the things they talk about to like please men or to be charming towards men and things like that. So even just little passing moments or references like that, I just really appreciate. Yeah, so I gave The Perils of Lady Catherine de Bourgh 5 stars. As I said, I think it's my favorite in the series so far. I really hope we see more, and yeah, I just thought this was excellent. So please comment down below. Let me know if you have read this book or if you're interested. Let me know if you're interested in picking up the series. I will link the other 2 reviews I did for these books in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!